Good evening, chat. Happy Monday. Here in America, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so I had the day off from work. It was pretty good. But, you know, we're here. We're here to play Kerbals tonight. I did promise a Duna mission, so you guys have to hold me accountable to that. No getting sidetracked again. We have a ship. It's a station, really, in orbit of Kerbin, ready to launch. We have our launch day, and we just need to get one more ship up there, like a lander, and I think deliver a little bit more fuel so we can do the transfer. Also, heads up, no camera tonight, because I don't have it with me. Well, I do, but I'm using it to watch chat, so I only have access to one phone this evening. But hey, enough of that. Let's switch over to the game, say hi to these boys, and get ready to rock. Let me know if you can hear me or see me or do neither of those things. Well, you can't see me, sorry. Yeah, don't let me know if you can see me. That's weird. We don't need a repeat of Scream. All right, let's fire up the game. Also, I have some exciting news for this Friday, but I don't want to give too much away just yet. So all I'm going to say is it's working. And hopefully that's enough. So we have a mission to plant a flag on Gilly. We have build a new orbital station, which is what we're currently working on. So why don't we start off tonight with a quick little Gilly landing? That'll warm us up, right? I also want to see how much Delta V is in the transfer stage, because possibly, like, it's not like a super, well, actually, hang on. I wonder, this has 753. All right. Well, we won't think about that just yet. So Valbry is here. Transfer Valbry over to the lander cam. We're just gonna go ahead and do a quick landing. Undock? Undock. So this has 579 meters per second, and I didn't write down the Delta V requirements to get back to Kerbin, but I think it's more than that. If you know otherwise, please let me know. Thank you. Power is good. Yeah, let's get these out just in case. Should start charging up here, assuming, yep, there's the sun. Here we go. Oh, we're kind of in a weird position. Let's go radial in. Be a little more careful here. And turn on the engine. There we go. Beautiful. And go retrograde. Ooh. If you guys remember, we had some fun last week trying to land on Gilly, which is just a tiny little rock. It's kind of silly, honestly. But let's warp around to the far side. Make sure we don't crash. Yep. We're going to go ahead and land somewhere where the sun is facing so I can see what I'm doing. And in other news, my water heater has gone kaput. So I have no hot water in my house currently. Kind of sucks because it's winter here, so it's cold, especially in the basement where the shower is. Don't ask me about that. I mean, I guess ask me if you want. But so the shower's down in the basement. It's cold in the basement. The water is cold. I am cold. It's not a good time. So hopefully that will get fixed tomorrow. My landlord sent somebody over to look at it today, and they couldn't fix it, so just gonna get a new one, I guess. Oh no, is right, Emmykins. It's bad. But luckily, I have you guys here tonight, and we're gonna get through this difficult time together. All right, let's go ahead and prepare our landing. There we go. We have so much fuel. Like, way too much fuel to land on Gilly, honestly. But this will serve as a good design for our Duna lander, which we will be using, or we will be building later tonight to send off to Duna with the rest of this stuff. I'm expecting that I'll be sending it as a separate vessel from the station because we don't want a repeat of last time when we docked the probes. Ooh, there's like a mountain up here. This is cool. So it looks like we're going to be landing kinda on the mountain, maybe not. Maybe we should aim for a more, oh, I don't know, around here area. I don't know exactly where all the biomes are. It's not like Minmus where it's easy to see. Like, oh, here's the Great Flats, here's the Greater Flats, here's the Lesser Flats, here's the Flats. Here it's more like, here's the rock, and there's the slightly higher rock. All right, so we want it like this. Thing looks good. And we're ready to land. So, how's everybody's weekend been going? Or I guess it's Monday. How was everybody's weekend? You guys get anything exciting accomplished? Did you do absolutely nothing like me? And then wake up on Monday morning thinking, oh God, I did absolutely nothing this weekend, and I said I was gonna do a bunch of stuff. And I just played video games for like 48 hours straight, basically. I don't know, maybe accomplishments are overrated. Like, why do something when you can do nothing instead, right? Mikan says, my weekend was pretty all right. Well, that's good. Pretty all right is pretty good, all things considered. I mean, you could have had to work or do like chores or something. Well, I guess you could still have a pretty all right weekend, even doing chores or working. It doesn't rule those out. What would I say? What would be a pretty all right weekend for me, I wonder? I guess if I guess, you know what? This weekend was pretty all right, and all I did was play video games. So what would be a great weekend for me? Probably I would have to play like a really good game that I've never played before that also ended up being like phenomenal. Okay, so there's the Highland site. Just want to make sure we're not landing in the exact same spot again. So let's imagine this. It's the weekend. It's the middle of the month, so I don't have anything to worry about at work. Like, I'm not dreading going back into work. Yeah, more than I normally am anyways. And a new game just came out that I was really looking forward to. It's getting really good reviews, and I get to play it all weekend with no interruptions. That would be a great weekend for me. So, I guess my standards are kind of high, because how often does a game come out these days where it doesn't have any problems? I am reminded of the summer when Final Fantasy X came out, and I basically sequestered myself in my grandma's guest room. And this is a story for another time, how that happened. But I sequestered myself in my grandma's guest room with a CRT TV and my PS2, and just played through the whole game. Only emerging from the room to eat and go to the bathroom. I would play and sleep and play and sleep, and it was so good. And nobody really bothered me that much. And the game was awesome. Totally worth it. 10 out of 10. Would play again. Well, I've tried to play Final Fantasy X since, and I always kind of get petered out once I get to Xanarkand. I don't know, everything feels so well paced up to that point, and then they just drop the open world on you, kind of. Once you get the airship and everything. All right, let's do a little time warp action here, because otherwise we're gonna be sitting here for a while. We'll just watch the radar. What is it? Alt? There it is. Alt. Period to do time warp. What are some more recent examples? Because this was like 20 years ago when this happened. I don't remember what year Final Fantasy X came out. It must have been like 2002 or 2003. If you know, I guess you can just Google it, type it in the chat. And since then, what has come out? Spore came out and was a huge disappointment for me. Stellaris came out and was like okay and like pretty good, but I wouldn't call it mind-blowing. I played a lot of there was one year, it wasn't like an actual whole year, but I played a lot of Guns of Icarus, which is an airship game on Steam. It's a PvP airship game where there are 3 ships on each side with, I don't remember how many crew each. I guess it's either 3 or 4. I think it might be 3. So it's basically 9v9 with 3 airships, and there's different classes, and you just fly around. The captain flies around, rather. You got gunners shooting at the other airship. You got engineers trying to fix stuff as it breaks. So much fun. Met a lot of people, had a good time. And then it's like at any game, you get bored of it after a while. But that was a good time. Although that wasn't really a weekend so much as like a series of months. All right, where are we landing here? Are there any surface samples I can get, or like rocks I can collect on Gilly? Does anybody know? I'm not seeing anything. Like usually I'd be able to kind of zoom out and see the little flecks, but I'm not seeing any. So I'm going to assume that there is nothing here. Final Fantasy X, yes, Emmykins. That is the one. And I may have the exact dates. I don't know if it came out in the summer. I just know that I played it in the summer. And I assume that I got it when it came out, although I often was behind the times with my game purchases. Oh, when did I get a PS2? Because that would have had to have been after the PS2 launch, so it might have been later than that. Might have been like 2004. But you know what? It was a good game. It was a lot of fun. And I wish they would make good Final Fantasy games again. Because I tried to play Final Fantasy 15 and it was like good for a while, and then it started to get kind of tedious and I had to stop. Although I did enjoy driving around listening to classic Final Fantasy music. That was cool. It came out December 2001. Okay, so it would have been the summer after that. So summer 2002 sounds about right. There we go. And let's go radial out. Although we're currently just kind of hovering here. But we should start to drop down. if Gilly ever bothers to grab us. And yeah, I think we're still lined up the way we need to be. We got plenty of Delta V. Holy crap. Where could we go with this? Think, okay, so let's theory craft this, right? I'm in orbit of Gilly with the craft with about 540 Delta V. Can I do a grav assist from Eve? So let's say I like drop into Eve orbit from Gilly, and so I'd have to leave Gilly's orbit, get into orbit around Eve. I'd be coming in the periapsis. I could get it real low. Is there a possibility that I have enough Delta V to get me out of Eve's orbit on a transfer to Kerbal, and then arrow capture when I get to Kerbal? Because I did put a heat shield on that thing. It could theoretically arrow capture. All right, where did we land? The Midlands. Ooh, how exciting. I guess more science for us then. So we'll grab all that. We'll have Valbury jump out. Get some Midland science. Beautiful. Easy mission. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, they like to go flying, I see. Take a surface sample, do an EVA report, and plant a flag. This was Midlands, right? So Midlands and Valbury was here. Midlands. No, lands. Valbury was here. We'll always remember Valbury, who was the first Kerbal ever to step foot on Gilly. And yoink. There we go. We'll grab this science before we take off, although we might not need to take off just yet. We could just chill here for a bit, in case we get another flag assignment. Go back to the Space Center then. Let's go. What else did I do this weekend? I played a lot of Grounded. You guys might be familiar with this one. It is the game where the kids get shrunk down and they're in the backyard and you're running around. It's like a survival base builder type game. That kind of classic Minecraft-y. I mean, it's not Minecraft because it's not procedurally generated. I guess sort of like 7 Days to Die. Man, I'm like totally blanking on other open world survival games. But it's a handcrafted world. It's really cool. Just like being small and seeing the normal things big is a lot of fun. I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Honey, I Shrunk the Whatever series, where whether it's a kid or the parents or whoever gets shrunk down and they have to survive and try to get unshrunk, and there's all kinds of shenanigans that happen. It's a good time. And then there's the one, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, which is like semi-related, where the kid gets like made really big. I remember that one being not as fun. I think things that are big are less fun than things that are small. Okay. Do we need to get any more science for our little whatchamacall? We got field science that lets us get some better rover parts. Scanning tech would give us a couple of things, but I don't think we're necessarily there yet. The big relay antenna could be good. Specialized electronics. Why did I buy this? Does anybody know why I bought this big remote guidance unit? Was that for Oh, that was for the fuel delivery drone. That's right. I remember. Okay. So, let's do a crew transfer shuttle. Make sure there's nothing in there. And we're gonna need 1 scientist and 1 engineer. And what do you have? Plant flag on Minmus, fly by Kerbal. You know what? I should probably see who's in the Duna station, right? Before I start sending people. So, Dun station is here. I want to say Valentina's in there right now, but I'm not 100% sure. There she is. Oh, that's right. We had docked a fuel shuttle. So this tank is full. This tank is full. And then there's a couple of tanks that need to get filled up a little more. So let's see how much we need. I think 1 fuel shuttle should top these off. So we can go ahead and undock this. And I think we were going to try to recover it. Is that right? It might burn up on re-entry, but we'll give it a shot. Undock. Switch over. And retrograde. Oh, right. This thing is like ridiculously slow. Oh, don't hit the things. I probably should have backed off before I did that, but whatever. We're done now. And now let's burn a little bit. There's plenty of Delta V. This should be just fine. Yeah, this is why we wanted the big drone thing, so we could do a drone delivery without having to take up a Kerbal. So we will turn this off. See if we can get it to stop spinning around. Let's get our periapsis inside the atmosphere. Go, 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 go. Perfect. We are on a re-entry course. So I want to say, I don't know a whole lot about SpaceX. Forgive me, I know. I should know more. But I don't think the boosters, right? The like reusable ones that they use actually go into orbit because they're just boosters. They do like a suborbital, they help boost the thing and then they detach and then they kind of fly themselves and land on that big boat. So I don't think re-entry is like an issue they have to worry about because they're not going as fast as a re-entering rocket would be. Space experts, tell me your expertise. I'm wondering if air brakes would be useful here or worth it. Turn off RCS. And we'll just time warp until we're entering the atmosphere. So I'm not actually sure if this will survive re-entry is the reason I'm asking. Because yes, the engines can take a lot of heat, but the rest of the parts maybe not so much. Although we can burn a lot of fuel and like as we're re-entering, and that'll maybe slow us down. And the RCS is almost gone. Let's be careful here. I want to say we had issues launching this too. I should go back and check the VOD. I think we got it up pretty high and then we were still in the atmosphere and we had to switch to the Poodle and we burned a lot of extra fuel. It could have been put into the station. Either that or the like orbital insertion stage wasn't strong enough. I don't remember exactly what happened. I just know it was bad. And I would like to try to avoid it tonight if we can, if we need to do another one of these. I don't think we will, because we're just going to be launching the Duna lander and then shipping everything off to Duna. Really wish I would have wrote down the delta V to get back from Eve. But I did write down the date that the transfer window is. It's year 5, day 247. So maybe we can check a few things and see if we can maybe just barely get from Eve to Kerbin. A little luck and what little delta V we have in that craft. So that's what I've got for tonight. But enough about me. Tell me about you. What was I? Had some questions here. So question number 1. For those of you who watch other streamers, of which I know there are many, do you prefer when a streamer plays the same game over and over and over again until they're like done with it and then moves on to the next game? Or do you prefer if like they played multiple different games? So basically what I do. Like play a game, but it's not, you know, day after day until it's done. It's like, okay, we'll do this tonight and then we're gonna maybe play a different game and then we'll go back to that first game. So tell me your thoughts. I don't know if I'll change up how I do things unless there's like overwhelming. Hola, I'm in timeout. Bienvenidos and my stream. Welcome back. We've missed you. We had a lot of Kerbal questions last week, and I don't remember if you were here. Maybe you were. It's been so long. I can't keep track of the days anymore. So it looks like the Poodle is taking the heat pretty well. I'm not seeing any heating effects yet, but we're still pretty high up. Oh, yep, there we go. Let's burn off all the fuel, I guess. Maybe not all of it. Let's save a little bit in case we need to slow down on landing. You missed last. Okay, I thought that was true, but I couldn't remember for sure. But yeah, you didn't miss too much. We landed on Gilly a bit. We built the Duna station that we're going to be launching tonight. And then I mostly just goofed around. Like, I keep trying to focus on big missions and then I get distracted by little ones. It's very frustrating. Let's do another burn here to slow down. I don't know if we're going to be landing in the water or on land. I'd like to land on land, if at all possible. These are the drogues, right? They are. Good. Well, this might actually work. We could make some bank on this. Gilly is your favorite moon? Oh boy. Well, you just missed it. We just planted a flag on it like 20 minutes ago. So I had a mission for it. Yeah, I was complaining a lot about Gilly and Eve last week. There were some colorful language being used. Drugs out. Mostly because of Eve's obnoxious gravity and Gilly's complete lack of gravity. And the fact that I was in a retrograde orbit around Eve that made it basically impossible to get into orbit of Gilly without like burning all of the fuel that I needed to get home. It was bad. So now I'm actually not sure if I have enough fuel in my lander to get back to Kerbin, which is gonna suck because I kind of need to have that. Okay, that was that. Oh, okay, that was the drogues just now. All right, and then I can pop the big boy parachutes. There we go. Did I fold? No, I did not. No, there was no growling. Nothing like that. Just me complaining mostly about like how much of a pain in the butt it was to get anything done. Hopefully Duna's a little more forgiving. Also, I'm not sure if you were here. You probably were when we got our next mission, which I'm saving for basically last, is to land and return from Eve. I don't know if that's hard mode, like mocking me, or what. I was hoping for, like, you know, go to Duna, go to Jewel, that kind of stuff. No, it's just like, no, just go to Eve and come back. That's not a big deal for you, right? No hissing, no scratch. No, no. I'm not actually a cat. These are just headphones. I guess if people want to see that, I could give it a shot, but that's not really my style. So this is actually going really slow. This might successfully land. Whether it will, you know, fall into the water and explode is going to be a separate issue entirely. Yes. Riao indeed. And I do want to go to Jewel. So I'm hoping we can do Duna this week and next week. So we'll launch the missions this week and then probably get there and then start planning for Jewel, because I think Jewel's going to be the next big mission. I'm not going to do like a one vessel and all that. And I'm in timeout is going to cook some dinner. All right, you cook some good dinner. Also, all right, I got to tell you guys about my lunch because it was amazing. So there is a Mexican place in my town. Well, there's technically two, but I went to one. And I got something called Birras Tacos. Birras? I don't know. And they're super good. Like, why have I not had these kind of tacos before? I feel like I've been eating the wrong kind of tacos my whole life. And I know, for those of you who live in the Southwest, or in that general area, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's like, you know, that's what we all eat around here for every meal. Is this thing gonna float or is it gonna fall? Yeah, it is gonna fall. Oh, here it comes. Bloosh. Like a big whale. Anyway, but I was impressed. I had never had these kind of tacos before, and they were really good. And they're only like slightly more expensive than the standard tacos, I guess you would call them. And they came with some kind of broth, like an au jus or something, like you get with a French dip. And that was okay. They gave me way too much though. Like, I got 3 tacos and they gave me like a soup bowl full of this broth, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be dipping these things. Am I supposed to drink it or what? I did not drink the broth, don't worry, chat. I would never stoop so low as to like drink. Well, that's not true. But anyway, that was my story about my lunch today. So back to tracking station. Let's see where the done station is. It is here. All right, we're gonna have to wait for it to come back around, I guess. Also, for those of you just joining us, wait, what the heck? I locked on to Jeb Memorial Station. I didn't want to do that. For those of you just joining us, in case you're wondering about the cam situation, do not worry. The cam is not, it's not broken, it's not glitchy, it's just not set up today because I need my phone to monitor chat. So can't use it as a camera. But don't worry, it'll be back. It hasn't gone anywhere. I'm in timeout. Loves French dip sandwiches. They're served with au jus, and I totally drink it. You just drink it, huh? Well then, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, maybe I should have. It was pretty good. Just like from what I put on the tacos. Crew transfer shuttle. So we said we were going to send up a scientist, one of our mini engineers, who is our most experienced, Plant Flag, and Triton, and Svetlana. who is our only non-Valentina pilot at this point. Everybody else is currently occupied. Wow. No wonder people use probes for everything. And I was gonna send up a fuel hose just in case there's some kind of issue in the future. Our fuel hose in there. Beautiful. And then we can, you know, rectify any issues with fuel, crossfeed, all that crap. Should we put like an EVA repair kit? Yes, yes we should. And some science. EVA repair kit. Grab some of those. That should be good. All right, let's go ahead and launch. You like a good au juice? I meant time out is talking about the au juice again. Not the salty premix stuff though. Okay. Maybe I'm going to the wrong places. I think we're good to go. We've done this mission a million times. Should be nice and easy. No problems. I say as the rocket like starts flipping over and turning the wrong way or something. Oop. That's not perfect. I don't know why it does that. I don't think there's anything, there's no forces acting on it that I can see that would cause it to get off center like that. Now, speaking of like good au juice and not the salty premix stuff, I was thinking to myself about ramen and how I've never had like the real ramen. I've only ever had like the packaged stuff. So whenever someone's talking about like, oh, I went to this ramen restaurant and I have no way to like judge what that is because I've only ever had the premix stuff. The stuff you just, you know, you throw it in the pot. It's like macaroni and cheese basically. But I really want to try it someday because the way people talk about it, it sounds really good. And I like good food. Okay, we're getting some heating here, but I think that's fine. We're pretty high up in the atmosphere at this point. Okay. Just about time to switch to our... Oh, I guess there's only one other stage here. I was gonna say it's time to switch to our orbital insertion, but nope. There's just the one. And switch. There we go. And this should safely get us right up into orbit. Let's make sure we have our target. Yeah, there's kind of an inclination, but that's okay. And you know what I have had that's good and not pre-made stuff? I've had some pretty good sushi, which I know sounds crazy living in the Midwest, but I haven't always lived in the Midwest. I have been to other places. I have lived on the coast. I have visited the coast. And you know what? The sushi that I get here in the Midwest isn't that bad. It's all frozen anyway, right? Like most sushi places you go to, they're going to freeze it to kill all the parasites and stuff that people associate with eating raw fish. So really, whether it's frozen here or it's frozen in like New York City, you're still getting basically the same quality of fish. I guess if I went to Japan and got like the master sushi chef who's been doing it for 70 years or whatever, then maybe there's like a quality differential there. But I have nothing to compare it to except gas station sushi, and that always just makes me say it's not actually gas station sushi, it's like grocery store sushi. And that always makes me sad because it's like it looks kind of like sushi, and it tastes kind of like sushi. And it technically is, but it's not very good. It's like on that line. I think maybe gas stations should stick to hot dogs and like nachos with the big cheese dispenser, right? You just squeeze it out onto the chips and call it a day. Or microwave burritos. Great, now I want gas station food. Thanks, guys. So here is our intersect. And we should be good. Let's increase it just a little bit to be on the safe side here. The last thing we want is to not be able to get into an orbit. Here we go. Get these lined up. What else did I picked up? I picked up a surprise game for this Friday. If any of you were here this last Friday, you'll know what it is, but I'm not going to say it here. It's just going to be a surprise. I got that over the weekend. I picked up Frostpunk today. It's on sale for like 75% off. I'm like, well, it's on my wish list, so I might as well get it. And I got Grounded, who I mentioned earlier, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that the games that I'm playing this week, so Oxygen not included, is on Wednesday. And on tomorrow, as you guys know, I'll be over on Possibly an Alien stream. We will be doing something very interesting. If you were here last week, you'll know we explored that weird museum that had the virtual tour. But this next one, it's my turn now to expose her to something. And I have chosen something. I won't spoil it. But catch me over on her stream tomorrow and you will see just what it is that I decided to go with. I'll give you a hint, it is art related. She is an artist, so I wanted to go with something that kind of matched that theme. And then after this week, she'll have to pick something for me to deal with next Tuesday. So I'm really excited about that. I hope she's thought about it already. Okay. We got the lock. We're gonna be about 2.2 kilometers. That's probably mostly inclination based at this point. So we should have no issues. Just orbiting around and lining up as we get a little bit closer. Yeah, about 0.2 percentage points off from the orbit, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. It'll all get sorted out by the burns here. And there we go. So I think it's that time of the stream again when I bring up movies, even though I neither watch movies nor do I plan to go see any movies. But I want to hear if anybody went to go see Scream, how that was, first of all. And then second of all, what you guys are looking forward to later this year that are not Marvel movies. Because we always talk about Marvel movies, talk about Doctor Strange, we talk about Thor. Let's talk about, I don't know, literally anything else that's coming out this year. Because honestly, I don't know what's coming out this year. I probably should watch more movie trailers. I guess there's like the Batman, that's not Marvel, that's DC. I don't know if that comes out this year though. I have no idea what the DC universe is up to these days. We are lined up. Now we can safely make our way over to the station. What is the separation? 0.8. I'll take that. Well, that's frustrating. We got the Batman, if that does come out. They're like a Flash movie they were making. And trying to think. Nope, I can't think of any movies that are coming out. So someone will just have to tell me. What about like streaming stuff? What's coming out on streaming? Not necessarily movies. Like, wasn't there some kind of Game of Thrones thing that was happening? That people were either like excited about or like angry about, as these things so often are. We're gonna burn over to the target now. Get it lined up. And there was something else that I saw. There was the Dexter thing that came out. No, that came out last year. Now I'm just doing like recaps of last year that I also didn't really watch that much. There's that new Boba Fett show. I don't know if that must still be going or if it's wrapped up by now. I've heard some like mixed reviews, I guess would be the best way of putting it. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, as you guys know. I've talked about it at length, so I'm not like interested in it. But I don't want to see Star Wars fans suffer, you know? Like, they've suffered enough. Like, throw them a bone. They got the Mandalorian and that's it. And I guess the Clone Wars show. But it seems like they just keep getting punched in the face with these movies and sometimes the TV shows. Like, as Kerbal players, right? Like, imagine if there was a franchise of KSP. Not just a sequel, but like, there's like a KSP mobile game. And don't get angry just thinking about this, obviously. But, so let's say there's a KSP mobile game that's like Genshin Impact or whatever. And there's like a KSP TV show. And there's a KSP video game that's not rocket related. It's like KSP Rocket Racing Mayhem or something ridiculous like that. And then Take-Two announces Kerbal Space Program 3 and everyone's like super hyped up, right? Because like finally we get a mainline Kerbal Space Program title. I think it's like 2030 or whatever. And everybody's hyped up and they're like, it's gonna be Epic Games exclusive and there's gonna be microtransactions and you know, not even Epic Games, it's like on Take-Two's game streaming platform, whatever, like Take-Two Plus. Like, that would suck. I would hate that. And that's what keeps happening to fans of these big franchises. They have to sit through all this garbage that the company throws at them, and then they get this glimmer of hope in some kind of mainline return to form, and it's just dashed on the rocks. They get nothing. They lose. Good day, sir. And that would suck. So I'm not gonna be happy that the Star Wars fans are not happy. As much as I would like to be, and say I told you so. And say Star Wars was never actually good, actually. Like, they had one good show, or one good movie, and then like an okay movie, and then like a pretty bad movie, and then they made the prequels. And I'm not even counting like the Ewok Caravan of Courage movies, which I don't think anybody does, honestly. Now we got the solar panels down, we gotta be careful. that's my thoughts on the Mandalorian, or not the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett or whatever it's called. Although, oh, there's the new the Obi-Wan show that everybody seems hyped about with Ewan McGregor. I don't know how much of that is like post prequel ironic enjoyment, like all the memes, right? And how much of that is actual unironic enjoyment of his performance as Obi-Wan. But I guess I'll wait for the reviews, see how it goes. Coming in on the bottom side of the station, whatever that's worth, the anti-normal side, I guess. I don't know how you describe a station that doesn't really have a top or a bottom. I guess if we're oriented around Kerbal, that would be like the ventral side, like the ventral is the front and dorsal is the back. Okay. Make sure we're nice and slow. Check our mono propellant here. We got plenty. We should be good. What do other streamers talk about? Maybe I should watch some other streamers and see what they talk about. I know I can only speak for the few streamers that I watch when I have time. Most of them are either like experts at the game that they're playing, which is not me, or they're just like funny in like a general way, or they're girls. So that's like the three options, right? For being big on Twitch. You're either an expert, you're funny, or you're a girl. And I'm not like disparaging like all girls. That's just the nature of internet nonsense. Like there's a couple of ways that you can get through, and it's the same on like TikTok, right? Like who do you stop for on TikTok? You stop for the people showing off how good they are at their hobby. You stop for the comedy bit, and you stop for the girls. Unless you're a girl, and then I have no idea what you do. Maybe you stop for guys? Like you got to get attention somehow, and you got to hold that attention. How do you do it? I don't know. If you find out, please tell me. Send an email to www.thisisnotarealemail.com. We are going to be careful here and not crash. We don't want that to happen again. Can we pick this as the target? It's already set as the target. It doesn't look like it's set as the target. There we go. Set as target. And now we are completely off kilter, of course. Go to find control so I'm not burning all my RCS. And I should probably make sure that I'm pointing the right way before I start doing this also. Okay, and then face normal. And then we just crane game it. We are pointing directly up. Good. We just scooch our way underneath the station. And tilt a little bit. We're kind of off. We got it. Slowly. Slowly. And yeah, we're definitely getting lined up here. This is good. Slowly. And then up. we go. That should be spot on. Oop. Perfect. So let's get this fuel out of here. 1, 2, 3. Get it out. And then we'll double check all the other fuel tanks to make sure everything is nice and full. We'll transfer the crew over. I think at this point we just keep Valentina in there so she can go get some experience. Fuel is out. Fuel is full. Fuel is full. Fuel is full. Alright, everything's full. Good. And in case you're wondering why... How do I describe this? Why the station is the way that it is. Why we had to do so much refueling. It was because when I was launching this station, there was a bit of a mishap with the side boosters, and they collided with the main booster and blew it up. So we had to switch to our orbital insertion. Well, this booster too early. And it basically had to use all of its fuel to get us into orbit, and then we had to fully fuel it back up. So that's why that happened. Now it's time to transfer the Kerbals. Transfer. Nope. Transfer. So Svetlana is our pilot. We'll leave her for now. Just throw these guys in. One of these. Triton, you can go in the science lab. Okay. Do we send Valentina to Duna with this mission? Or do we send Svetlana with this mission so she can level up? And then we use Valentina to go elsewhere. Honestly, I don't know. I think we do the latter. I think that's the best bet. So we will transfer Svetlana to the crew or the piloting area, and transfer Valentina back to the fuel truck. And I want to say that's everything we need. We can just go ahead and undock. She's in there, right? She is in there. The second one, okay. So Emmykins agrees with me. Beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. Get out of the danger zone. We don't want to slam into those beautiful solar panels. Switch to retrograde. And away we go. Get all that beautiful fuel being lost. So sad. It's not that much. It's fine. Gonna decouple. We'll wait till we're a little closer. I love these little balls down here. This was a great idea. I think that was I'm in Timeout's idea to like hide them. And I've definitely stolen that for some other designs that we've done. So kudos to I'm in Timeout for suggesting the hiding of the balls. Definitely worth it. And speed up a little more. And there we go. We're gonna enter the atmosphere. So we'll decouple. Decouple. Thank you. And there we go. Butt down. And re-entry time. So, get back in here, make sure everything is functioning. Okay. So I want to be, I guess, given the three options, right, of what kind of streamer I want to be. I can't be a girl. Well, I won't rule that one out, but I'm gonna say that's like the lowest on my priority list. I'm not like an expert in any game that I can think of, which, considering how many games I've played, is kind of sad. I feel like maybe I should have a little bit more expertise. But I have, I don't know, I have such a different perspective on how to play games, that being really good at a game usually involves breaking it in some way, or like taking advantage of whether it's the AI or like obscure rules. Like imagine like speedrunning. There's always glitches and like out of bounds stuff, and I don't want to do that. I want to experience the game the way it was designed to be experienced. So I don't think mastery of a game is the one for me. Although I suppose if I like really focused and picked one game, I could get really good at it, if that was a thing that people were really into. And so that leaves us with the funny one. And there's only one problem, chat, with that. I'm not consistently funny. I can be funny sometimes. Or I can be kind of funny all the time and a lot of funny some of the time, but I can't be all the funny all the time. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm wondering whether I need to watch stand-up or I need to watch more comedy movies, like Paul Blart Mall Cop, for example. I've heard that's very funny. Or if there's something that some like the funny gene that I am missing. But ideally that would be my niche. It's not really a niche anymore, right? It's just like one of the 3 streamers. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna try to make you guys laugh. That is my goal here. To laugh and to be entertained by any means necessary. And with that, we have begun our re-entry. And hopefully we don't end up dealing with these mountains, because that would be kind of a bummer. Because this is Valentina. She's one of the 2 starting pilots. Rip Jeb. Emmykin says I make her laugh, which is, I've seen what makes her laugh. It's not that hard. But thank you for the vote of confidence, Emmykins. I really appreciate it. I guess there's a lot of people out there who will laugh at a lot of stuff, so maybe it's not as bad as I think. Or maybe I'm just like, maybe I too easily laugh at things, which is why I assume that streamers are trying to be funny most of the time because they make me laugh. Or maybe it's the game choice, like that goes into it, right? Like there's games that are inherently funny. Like a lot of the Sonic games, games that are just like weird, games where the situation itself is funny in some way. Stuff like Psychonauts. You're going into people's heads and messing with their thoughts, and their emotional baggage is literally represented by luggage. Like that's a funny concept. It makes for a funny game and a funny experience in general. Okay, are we gonna crash into the mountains? I don't think so. If we can get these parachutes out, that should slow us down enough that we'll kind of come to a stop before the mountains. Of course, I suppose there is always the option of becoming a speedrunner, right? I can't run Kerbal Space Program. I do not have the patience for that. And honestly, I'm not even sure what a speedrun of Kerbal Space Program would entail. I guess there's probably different categories, right? But maybe I could find like a really niche game that nobody plays, and I could be the only person who speedruns it. Maybe. Like that time, I don't remember who it was, somebody like speedran the iCarly game. Somebody speedran like Cooking Mama. The games that don't really lend themselves to speedruns. think some of the best speedruns are like classic games, right? That have very clearly delineated progress from beginning to you win. Like Castlevania, Super Mario, Rainbow Yeti coming in with the Pogs, Pog Champs. Emmykins wants to know if there's an iCarly game. Not only is there an iCarly game, there are multiple iCarly games. There's also Victoria's games, in case you're feeling left out. The Rainbow Yeti, thanks for stopping in. I'm just talking about what kind of streamer I want to be. It's you know, talking shop here in the chat. But luckily, our mission here is almost done. So we're gonna get Valentina back, and then we need to build the Duna lander. I think we can actually physics warp this a bit. Why is that profoundly sad? Like, they make games out of everything. Like, there's SpongeBob games. Is there a Bob's Burgers game? I wonder if that exists. There's gotta be, right? Probably like a mobile game. There's like probably a Bob's Burger mobile game or something stupid like that. Yeah, they used to make games out of like everything. Any movie, any TV show, nothing was safe. Just shovel out the garbage and someone will buy it. Some poor grandma. Like, oh, they watched iCarly. I'll get the game for them. They've got the Nintendo. Yes, that is my best grandma voice. And no, I will not be improving it. Eating some food. Oh, everybody's eating food tonight. I guess it makes sense. Like, people eat meals during the day. All right, we are back at the KSC. Now the planning phase can begin. All right, nothing new here. Plant flag on Eve. That's not going to be happening for a while. Eat supper and watch Starshard do spaceship stuff. What could be a better way to spend your evening? I can think of a few things, but I'm not going to tell you because I prefer that you do that. So, do we have a good design already? No, no. Is it the Gillilander? I guess it's kind of just a beefed up Gillilander, right? What is this thing? Why do I have this? Oh no, this is the stupid, this is the Inspector. I want the Gillilander. Let's not mix those up. Gillilander. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. Well, okay, clearly this isn't gonna work as is, right? We cannot enable crossfeed, so we're just stuck with what we got. So some adjustments that could be made here are the addition of parachutes. That is way too big. Let's do some drogues. That's probably better. I'll just put these a little higher on the cluster there. Oh, no, I do not want that. I do, however, want that. Let's move this down a bit. Okay, this is looking good. So we're gonna save this as the Duna lander. All right, let's make sure this actually functions, right? Crap. All right, subassembly time. Subassembly, go there. Duna lander. Why is this happening? Oh, okay. No, it's all working. How do I redo something? Is it Control Y? Crap. Oh, game, why do you do this to me? Unalander. Go. Here. Alright. Save. New. Unalander. Alright, now we can actually test it out. And why is there no Delta V? Tell me more about your Delta V problem. Nothing to reset. What is happening here? Yeah, what if I put this in a vacuum? Ah, there we go. Okay, I just had to reset it. So let's look at Duna. 1800 meters per second. So I'm gonna head on over to the Delta V map, and we're gonna see just how much we need to get off of Duna. 1,450 Delta V in order to get into orbit, which is, well, oh, we do have enough. Okay, this could work. Although I'm a little concerned. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. So where can I squeeze more fuel on here? Okay. Don't save. Head over to the Duna lander. And we're gonna try to squeeze some more fuel onto this thing somehow. So step 1. Find the fuel tanks. Start adding fuel. We got dumplings. I do enjoy the occasional dumpling. But I think my best bet is going to be to add some more of these types of fuel tanks. The radial boys. Oh, we're clipping in the fairing. Gotta be careful with that. I wonder if that's too much. Hang on. Don't save. New. Don't save. Let's bust out the sub-assembly again. Oop. We got... No, what the heck? Why does it do that? So there... Wait a minute. What is the docking port is the route. Okay, that's not good. Let's reroute it. Is it reroute? There we go. All right, so now we take this part off and we swap it with a bigger fuel tank. Although honestly, at that point, we could just put it on the bottom. Ugh. Okay. But we want this to be nice and low so the Kerbal can get out. I think we stick with what we got. Then we put a clampetron on the top, like we have before. Grab the science experiments and get those ready to go. Thermometer and barometer, like so. So those are all ready to go. We've still got the antenna, that's good. Solar panels we need. 2 of those guys. And then the parachutes. And actually, now that we have a little more space, we could actually go with full-size parachutes here. A couple of extra drogues aren't going to hurt anyone, right? There we go. And that's everything we need from that. Let's check the center of mass, because now we're going to need to change probably where our stuff is located. Let's do that. I don't need it to be 4-way symmetry. I need it to be 2-way symmetry, like so. Oh, I wonder if it'd be worth just doing like that, and then a second one like up here. Yeah, that might work better. I'll move the solar panels down a bit. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Starting to look like a real lander now. Turn that off. So the legs are good. Let's see how much Delta V it has on Duna. It has... Wait a minute. Did the Delta V go down? No, okay. I don't know why it keeps resetting like that. So we have 2091. Yeah, I can work with that. That's probably plenty. Thrust to weight. That's kind of important too. Thrust to weight is good. All right. So this thing can theoretically land on and return from Duna. And I am happy to have that as my option. Drop zone. Hello. Oh, selected part is not attachable. Right. Gotta reroute it. There we go. And drop. Duna lander. And then switch over to the actual Duna lander. Get rid of the old one. And replace it with the new one. Like so. Oh, and does it actually fit in the fairings now? Not quite. I think there's some clipping that we're gonna want to edit, so let's edit that. There we go. All right, that looks good. So let's go over everything again. This is our lander. This is going to actually do the landing portion of the exam. This is our transfer vehicle. This is going to get us to Duna orbit and back, presumably. Question is, can this actually get us where we need to go? Let's double check here. I'll put this on Kerbal. We've got 1628, 1143, and that should be happening somewhere around 50 kilometers. And is that good? I couldn't tell you. Gonna be honest. But I'm ready to try it. Are you guys ready? Ready to launch this thing? Let's get it loaded up. Let's make sure everybody's got what they need. We're gonna want to install a sciencey thingy. One of these fellas. And then in the command pod, we'll add a repair kit and a fuel hose, just in case we have any issues that can be solved with the fuel hose. For the crew, we're going to be bringing Valentina and a couple of engineers, because they can get experience even if they can't actually do the science, but there aren't any science experiments on here that need to be reset. Emmykins is always ready. Okay. So it'll be Valentina, Shellstead, and Dannard who will be joining us. And that is going to be all of our pilots on missions. That could be a problem. Luckily, I think we've unlocked enough drone stuff that it shouldn't be. All right, let's try to land this thing. Or fly this thing. We don't get to land it just yet. Thing's good, we'll save it up. Let's double check the staging. So we got the solid boosters plus the main booster. In fact, I can probably tone, oh, maybe not. Oh, we'll leave that. This gets us up there. Separate, switch to this little booster here, which is going to get us slightly more into orbit, and then we switch to the nuclear engine when we're hopefully high enough up in the atmosphere that the thrust is good. So here we go. Oh, I didn't finish checking the staging. Okay, then we decouple the fairing, or get rid of the fairing. Nuclear engine starts, and the engine plate falls away. And then we manually get rid of these as we run out of fuel. And the rest of this stuff should be its own thing. There we go. The rest of that will be manually me doing it. So here we go. No more goofing around. It's time to launch. I promised you guys a Duna mission tonight, and I intend to deliver. So SAS on. Throttle is full. Everything is open. Everybody is go for launch. And here we go. Oh, control point is pointing up. We've double checked that. So let's get rocking here. Should be no flipping. Flipping is not allowed today, Valentina. This is not a station launch, so you are not authorized to do any flips on the way into orbit. We need all the fuel this thing has to get us there. And this time we will not be doing we will not be going for a retrograde orbit of Duna. We'll be going for a regular prograde orbit of Duna so that we don't have any further problems caused by irregular orbit. We're going a little bit too fast here. We're getting the atmospheric effects, which I don't really want. Let's turn over more. More. A little more. Yeah, we're not quite getting to an angle that I would like yet. Let's really crank it. Cranking it. There go the solid boosters. And max throttle. There we go. It's not the best gravity turn of my career, but it's not too bad. Should still get us into orbit just fine. So I'm in timeout. I hope that was sufficiently good of a launch for you. I know you're always critiquing my launches, but I do have a fairing, so there. A fairing which I should probably be deploying now. Get that nasty weight out of the way. Look at this thing. It looks weird, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a vehicle that NASA would build. At least not this whole assembly. It's got a very Kerbal look to it. I'll just say that much. And we are about to switch, so switch. There we go. And this skipper should get us the rest of the way. Previous rocket I launched had a great ascent. Yeah, those supply shuttles are very easy to launch. I've gotten very used to them. And yeah, this one I didn't quite turn hard enough. I was keeping an eye on the not flipping thing. Which, to be fair, I did not flip. So there you go. Now we're going to focus on circularizing. And is there anything else that I need to do? I don't think so. All the stuff is loaded in the cargo bays. Got a repair kit, we got a fuel hose. Those tanks hidden next to the engine. Oh, these guys? The balls? Yeah, that's my monopropellant. Because I don't need a whole lot to dock it, right? So I just try to put as little as possible. I'm always willing to take advice. If you guys think you're some kind of Kerbal expert, feel free. Throw some free advice at me. I won't get mad. Well, I might get a little mad. But then I'll probably listen and then do it. And then you'll get to see your excellent designs on my spacecraft. All right, now this is very important. We need to decouple. Assuming that this has enough delta V to get us in orbit, we're going to decouple so we can let it fall back to Kerbin and burn up in the atmosphere instead of having a bunch of debris floating around. I think right around there should be good. We'll do that. That. And we'll switch to the nuclear engine for our circularization. Beautiful. Looking good. Well, the mono on the previous rocket was designed by you, as I recall. And we're almost there. Just a few more kilometers to raise it up. And we've got about 3,200. Okay, so here's the fun part. We've got 3,200. Then we get rid of the side tanks, and we have another 3,200. So we have a ton of delta V in this thing. This thing is ridiculous. So it's gonna get us there. It's gonna get us everywhere. As long as we don't go to Eve, then we're safe. Stay away from Eve. Do not go there. It is not worth it. And we're good. So what else is left? We can finish our orbit and let the debris fall back to the ground. So this thing's ready to go. The Dun station is ready to go. I've got my notes here that say we should begin on year 5, day 368. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, first I'm going to go back to KSC. And I think I'm in timeout. You said you're a Gilly fan. We're going to go to Gilly real quick. And we're going to do a quick docking maneuver. And we're going to check mission control. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing new. Got it. Oh, shoot, I should check our other stuff. New orbital station, that's going to get done. Surface outpost, that's going to get done eventually. And then this MUN stuff can get done, I don't know, anytime. We're going to Gilly. Yes, yay, Gilly indeed. I like Gilly just fine. I don't like Eve. And unfortunately, Gilly is orbiting Eve. So, where's the Gilly lander? That. Oh, there it is. Why is it? Oh, there it is. I didn't scroll down. I'm like, why is it not on my list? And now I know why. Because it was at the bottom. I thought it might have blown up due to some kind of Kraken attack. Luckily, that doesn't appear to have been the case here. I'm watching you, Gilly. I know your tricks. And we're going up. Yep, we're just going up, I guess. Because it's Gilly, and nothing matters. Are you done bouncing? You wanna maybe go back on the ground? Is this why you like Gilly? Because it's like a bounce house? We should probably put the ladder up so it doesn't break. Oop. Here we go. Let's see where our ship is. We are rendezvousing with the Gilly Lander, which should be coming around the mountain any minute now. I guess we'll time warp. Again, we'll continue to time warp. You think Gilly is fun, huh? Alright, well that makes one of us. It's the EVA capital of the world, I suppose, if you feel like going for a really long EVA flight. Alright, so we need to set that as target. And away we go. Let's close up the solar panels. Close them up. And that was probably way too much fuel. I hit N. I hope that doesn't do anything. Dang it. We did it again. This keeps happening. I burn for like as long as I think is good, and then it ends up just shooting me off into orbit. Alright, whatever. Guess we're gonna do it the hard way. It takes, yeah, the warp limitations are really killing me here. It's so slow. But hey, you know what? That gives us more time to talk about stuff. So let's talk about stuff. I'm in timeout. What are you having for dinner? Because I heard you were making dinner, and I want to know what it was. And then I'll tell you what I had for dinner, which is not interesting in the slightest, but it's only fair, right? Can I warp yet? Can't warp yet. But we can physics warp, I guess. Not hurting anything. Ham and smashed potatoes and strawberries. Were the strawberries on the ham and smashed potatoes, or was that like a separate dish? Finally, someone who knows what he's doing. Wait, you're not talking about me, are you? Also, hello, Starogel? Let me know how to pronounce your name, if one of those is correct. UM. Okay. Which part of you is thinking that I know what I'm doing? Because most of the time, I don't know what I'm doing. But you might get that impression because I've played a lot of KSP and watched a lot of KSP. Starogel. Okay. Starogel. Got it. Alright, we can stop the physics warp and switch to the time warp now. And oh, still can't time warp. That's fine, we're going fast enough. The strawberries were just on the side. I'm in timeout, says. Good. That sounds like a pretty good meal. And then, as promised, I will tell you what I had. I had leftover frozen pizza. So, it was a frozen pizza from the grocery store that had been cooked, and then eaten part of it, and then put in the fridge, and then reheated for my mild enjoyment. But for lunch, which was the real king of the food today, I had birria tacos, which were really, really good. I'm good at KSP, don't be so modest, he says. All right, all right. And Starogel says, one look at the rocket and the VAB told me enough. Okay. Well, if you think so, I'll accept it. But there are people out there who do things that I would consider to be unholy magic with KSP. And I am not one of them. What kind of frozen pizza? Jack's maybe? I don't know. Emmykins could tell you more than I could, because she was the one who cooked it. Yeah, the descending node is kind of garbage. But we can fix that. It's Gilly. And then we'll get our intersect set up so we can dock. You're no Matt Lown. Yeah, nobody's Matt Lown except for Matt Lown. Things he does with KSP. It is, it's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. There's so much you can do in this game that I simply do not do for various reasons. And normal. Wow. I hardly burned it all there. Jeez. 4 minutes to get from here to here. Oh boy. And I can't zoom in any farther, so we're just kind of stuck with this distance. Oh yeah, we're just messing around with Gilly. We had our fun with Eve. I'm using fun with like quotations here. Normally I would actually, you know, do quotations on camera, but no camera today, so I can't do it. Very brave without any mods. Yeah, that's how I've always played KSP. I've never used mods. A hard mode though, that's also something that I generally play. I feel like KSP lacks a lot of challenge on its own. And even hard mode is still pretty darn easy. Like I play a lot of strategy games, XCOM, stuff like that, where when they say hard mode, they're not messing around. The hard mode in KSP just adds a couple of modifiers. And turns off like quick saves and reverts and stuff, which I don't generally use anyway because it seems kind of pointless. If like you're gonna have a career and you can just go back if something goes wrong. Like no, you gotta live with the consequences of your actions. That's why when I play Minecraft, I only play on hardcore mode. If I die, the world gets deleted. And that's just how it is. Alright, how are we gonna land, or how are we gonna dock here? We've already landed. I'm not landing again. Right, intersects here, here, and there. Whenever you're ready, game. Do a little burn here. It was Jack's Meat Lovers Frozen Pizza that Emmykins got on sale. So there you go. That's what it was. Wow, that's a little. Let's use the RCS, I guess. Just inch it in there. Perfect. 0.2 kilometers. I'll take it. I can work with that. And away we go. The Star Ogle says, a friend of mine wants to learn KSP. First thing that they plan on adjusting is the game settings and installing some graphical and some quality of life mods. That's fair. Yeah, definitely. I understand that mods make the game more enjoyable, more convenient to play. I've played so long without mods that I don't want to do it. And I feel like by playing with no mods, people can jump in and basically emulate anything I'm doing without having to worry about necessarily installing a specific mod. Like any ship that I make will work in vanilla, no problems. Well, you gotta have the DLCs too, but whatever, everybody should have those anyway. Okay, no mech jeb, no part mods. Yeah, that's good. Those dirty cheaters with their mech jeb. And yeah, there's like a lot of, I like a lot of the graphical stuff. I don't think my computer could handle some of it, so I haven't bothered with it. So 0.2 kilometers in 3.5 minutes. How far is it now? Oh yeah, we're good. Let's just make our way over there. Point at the target. It's a little RCS here. Oh, we should probably slow down, huh? We don't need to use RCS for this. That's dumb. Let's use the big engine, just to be safe. There we go. And now we can play with the RCS. Perfect. Keep an eye on our monopropellant, although we're using the teeny tiny guys, so we're not going to be using too much. Drogo likes MechJeb. After some... Yeah, that's true. After... Even I'm getting a little tired of launching my resupply missions to the stations constantly. Although, to be fair, I'm the one that keeps flipping them on launch and making it so they need to get refueled in the first place. So, I'm just making more work for myself. It could probably be avoided. I'm actually... We've talked about KSP2 a lot as we've been doing this career, and I think everybody's kind of excited about the automated supply rocket system that they've got going in KSP2. And I count me among them. I think that'll be great. You fly the mission once, the game's like, okay, you can clearly do it, so you don't have to do it anymore. We'll take care of it. So, KSP2, fingers crossed, 2022. We'll see if it happens. I'm not going to hold my breath because it would be till the end of the year and I would die. But I would not be surprised if it got delayed again. Let's just say that. Okay. Almost there. Probably get the other ship pointed at the Gillilander. Uh-oh. Set us target. There we go. And I point. I'm pointing the wrong way. There we go. Point at the target. Meg. Or is it Agony? Agony is piloting. Got it. Hold that. So we should be on target to land here. No problems. Or dock. I keep saying land. I mean dock. It'll take a little bit of time, but shouldn't have any issues. Also, for those of you coming in late, I have a fun story about my water heater. It is broken. All the water is cold. It's Minnesota in the winter. I'm not excited about it. It's getting fixed tomorrow. Don't worry. So Starogel is saying, I'm a bit on the cautious way regarding KSP2. Hope it won't be too polished. Look at the AAA titles in the last couple of years. Perfectly executed, and many of them boring as hell. That's fair. That's definitely one way to look at it. I'm more expecting like a Cyberpunk type launch with like lots of technical issues and like people complaining on the forums. Like, I was playing multiplayer with my friend and then he desynced. Fix your servers, fix your netcode, blah 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 blah. Like, man, they added multiplayer to the game. They didn't have to do that at all. I guess they're using it as a selling point. So yeah, I'm definitely on board with that perspective too, of they're gonna polish off all the fun and take away anything that was unique about KSP. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we're both wrong and it comes out and there's not, at least not any more technical problems than KSP has had over the years. And hopefully it still retains a lot of the fun, novel aspects of this game. Because it would really suck if the game sucked. And I talked about that a little earlier when we were talking about the Book of Boba Fett, or whatever it's called. And how Star Wars fans keep getting garbage thrown at them to keep them quiet, and it's not working. Or maybe it is. Maybe some people really like that show. I don't know. Cyberpunk is an example of an overhyped mess. Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like Fallout 76. Like, here's this big title, and here's the launch, and everybody's, or like No Man's Sky, stuff like that. Although that did eventually get mostly resolved, from what I understand. It just took a really long time. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, keeping my fingers crossed. I'm really looking forward to it. It's on the top of my wish list, ready to rock when it comes out. I will probably not pre-order it, honestly. But I know I kind of want to. Just because then it's like I'm getting it even earlier, even though that's not actually. All right, docking is done. Let's head back to KSC. And we're gonna check in. Actually, we don't need to check the missions. We just need to warp to year 5, day 247. So, let the time machine begin its run. Oh, I can set like an alarm for that, can I? Hang on. Struggle continues. Of course, my taste is not the today's mainstream taste. Totally with you there. You're playing games on PC since the 80s, kind of stuck in the past. That is awesome. I didn't, when did I get into PC gaming? Like mid 2000s is when I got into PC gaming. And I have been, I don't know, I haven't really managed to get back on the console stuff. Or transfer window. Eve return. And I've played, I've been playing PC since then. Okay, how do I make it so the 1 year, day 234 is not what we want. We want day 247. So we'll say like 6 days. I don't like that this is like freaking out down here. So what are your favorite games of today, if there are any? I know a lot of my favorite games are from older days. Okay, what else do I need? This is 1 year. Wait, no, that's not right. Am I doing this right? I feel like I'm not setting this up. I want it to go off year 5, day 240. So do I need to add in, yeah, time to alarm. RimWorld is, yeah, Rainbow Yeti's always talking about RimWorld. I wish I saw in RimWorld, but you see in it. Maybe it's my disdain of mods that keeps me from enjoying the game. I don't know. Okay, I think this is right. Because this will take us to year 5, day 240. So let's do that. Hope you guys are ready for some like crazy nonsense. Go. Whee! Okay, let's not close your eyes if you're prone to epilepsy or whatever. So here we go. We're warping. There's got to be like a safer way to do this without blinding everyone with flashing lights, right? I guess I could be in space. Here, let's go in space, because this is clearly just gonna keep going. Can I have alarms in here? Ah, there we go. Okay, that's much better. Let's warp it. Zoop. Now that's fun to watch. Look at him go. So much stuff just spinning around. It's great. Hey, it's the Sun Station. You guys remember the Sun Station, right? That station that I had to put in solar orbit. It's just gonna sit there forever with like one Kerbal on it. That's not fair. We'll have to go pick him up when we get a chance. I feel bad just leaving a Kerbal out there forever. Although, they might have science on there that I could get. Hold on. Let's check in on them. They have a connection back to KSC? Let's find out. I hope they do. The last games that Stargirl purchased and enjoyed: State of Decay 2, Divinity Original Sin, City Skylines with all the DLCs, and then some. Oh, this has an antenna that I need to extend. And how is the science going? Oh. Oh. We don't have scientists on here. Well, what the heck was the point of this thing then? Why did I put science on here? Whatever. Alright, back to KSC. So I have not played State of Decay 2. I have played Divinity Original Sin. And I have played not a lot of City Skylines, but like, you know, a decent amount. Anything new? No. Nothing that I want to do anyway. I always tell people, okay, so my favorite game is Outer Wilds. But my second favorite game is probably classic XCOM from the 90s. If I had to like pick one game, be my favorite games, right? Like, that's always a hard decision to make. Check the comments coming in. Oh, okay. $4,000 hours in KSP. And then Skyrim with 600. Yeah, KSP, it's a sandbox, right? So, wait a minute. Are we still okay? So it's wrapping up now. Good. All right. Let's get rid of that. Let's head over to the Gilly Lander. And we're gonna see if we can fly this thing home. You're addicted to KSP, huh? I think it's if you look at it from a price per hour standpoint, there are some games that just are so cheap for how much entertainment they offer that it's actually kind of ridiculous. KSP definitely one of them. I bought it for $30 back in the day, got all the DLCs for free because I bought it early, and I don't know how many hours exactly I've put into it. I guess I could check the Steam stuff, but it's a lot. And nothing really even comes close to that. I guess maybe Terraria, just because it was so cheap to get, like $5 or whatever I got it for. Oh, right. We do not have the power. So, what happens when Meg gets out? Hold on. Valkyrie gets out, takes all the data, and goes over to the transfer vehicle. It's in. And we turn off this engine. What? What if we turn off this engine? Turn on this engine. Okay, so we have 373 meters per second if we're using this engine. And so, okay, so we've got about 800 delta V in this, right? I think I can make this work. So here's my plan. If I do a maneuver like so to get a nice periapsis around Eve, like so. All right, actually, if there are any above the lander can, oh, this is just a FL T100, just a little fuel tank. If there are any KSP experts in the chat, please tell me if this would make sense. I want to drop down from Gilly into orbit and then slingshot myself into interplanetary space to get to Kerbin. Am I better off getting my periapsis real low, which is going to cost, you know, a decent chunk of delta V? Or am I better off just escaping Gilly itself and like launching myself out into interplanetary space? The question of timing, I don't know about timing so much as which option is better. Because I've got the, obviously, if it was just from Eve orbit to Kerbin orbit, that's one thing. But this is, since I'm in orbit of Gilly and I don't plan on trying to get into a parking orbit around Eve anytime soon, if I'm better off launching into interplanetary space from Gilly directly, like this. Like that. Although that's actually gonna send me the wrong way. Hold on. Let's say we do a couple extra orbits. Okay. No, that's not great. Interesting. You want to use a good? Yeah, I've got the transfer window set up. You know what? You're right. Star Ogle, thank you so much for the follow. You are follower number 69. Congratulations. Nice. You know what? You're right. I should just use the freaking transfer thing. So let's take a look. Let's go over there. So let me get you guys going here. ASP transfer window planner. We're going to use math. Math time, ladies and gentlemen. So we are in Gilly. That's not an option. Oh no. Okay. So we're in Eve. I don't know what kind of... Oh no. See, this is my problem, right? Like, there's no easy way to calculate this. But if we're going from Eve to Kerbin, and it's like year 5, day 40 or whatever. Not day 40. What day is it? Day 240. But that doesn't change it, because this is where I got the date from, right? So we need to eject. So it's 1385. Is that right? No insertion burn. How much? Okay, I don't think we have enough delta V then. If it's going to say it takes 1384. What is the height of Gilly? Maybe that should be the question that I'm asking. Blah, blah, blah. It does not tell me. Great. Using the website. Yeah, using external things is fine. I generally don't use the actual numbers. I just use the dates that it gives me. All right. So, man, I don't know. We might just not have enough Delta V, honestly. I was hoping we would. All right, let's just try it. Just play around with some maneuvers. That's not going to hurt anything, right? Where did our maneuver node go? Did I delete it? I deleted it. Okay. All right, so we are going to mess with some maneuver nodes here. And we're going to try to launch ourselves into interplanetary space. Let's see what gives us the biggest bang for our buck here. Further. Just follow. Oh, I still got the thing up. Hang on. Did-do? This is why I need like an editor on site so I don't mess things up. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're going to do it in game. We're just going to fiddle with the maneuver node and hope that we can figure it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Nope, stretched it too far. Gilly and Kerbal are orbiting the same parent body. Has to be Eve or the From. Yeah. Direct transfer is cheaper than Hohmann transfer from a sun orbit. All right, I know you just said some words there. We're gonna assume that they are correct words, that they mean something. I know some of them. Yeah. So we're gonna tweak it. We're gonna keep tweaking it. We're gonna hope that we can figure something out. A lot of tweaking going on here. Just gotta find that perfect sweet spot that gets us into orbit. Yeah, you can't really see the line just yet. So let's try to... Okay, that's not working. It's making it worse. What if I do this? Oop, just bonked the mic there. Sorry, guys. My kitty ear headphones have once again struck the mic. Oh, this is frustrating. There we go. Okay, that might work. We're getting somewhere, I think. But the issue that I'm having... Okay, let's do this. We know we have about 800 to work with. So let's just throw in, like... Oh, hello everyone. Thank you, Emmykins. Some reason, I don't know how this happened, have been muted. So, hello everyone. I've been talking this whole time. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the music of KSP. I was just talking my way through setting up the thing. I don't know why my mic keeps muting itself. That's really strange. I'll look at that after the stream. Anyway, I was trying to get a maneuver there, realized we're not going to have enough Delta V, and then just gave up and said we're going to send a supply ship at some future date. So that's all you guys missed. Thanks for watching, even if I'm not talking. I really appreciate it. But now we're going to set up our Duna transfer, which is set to happen at day 368. So we're going to go ahead and go 120 days into the future. You can hear me talking now because I unmuted the mic. But yeah, I was muted for like a good couple of minutes. So usually my producer would be sitting here and would let me know right away if I had audio problems, but she is not home tonight. So, no such luck. But that's okay. We're good. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to go with the Duna mission, that's not correct. Hang on. I said days. 120 days. There we go. We did get pretty close though. We had some close encounters with Kerbal there, just not enough Delta V to make it quite work the way I wanted it to. I'd rather not have to be getting out to push, you know? Alright, we are approaching our Duna window. Let's go get those boys ready to fly. And done. So, switch over to our first bit, the done station. We're going to launch this to Duna. All right. Thank you, Emmykins. I do appreciate you keeping track of the audio on the stream. And let's get the maneuver set up. Crap, I didn't write down how much it was. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Does anybody know off the top of their head? You're still okay. The Star Ogle is playing 1.10.1. How good / bad is the in-game alarm clock and the maneuver planner? The alarm clock is great. The maneuver planner is hit or miss. I think the one time we used it, it gave me like a really bad window to do a transfer, so I just said screw it and used the external tool. All right, so we're gonna set Duna as our target. And start dragging it out. There we go. And let's throw it up on the wall. See if it sticks. It looks like it's sticking. Ah. So there is our approach. Beautiful. Look at that. That's much easier than getting to Eve. Holy cow. I blame the inclination. See how nice of a rendezvous we can... Oh, okay. I've gone too far in a few places, I guess. I want to use as little delta V for this as possible, for obvious reasons. So there we go. I think that's about as low as we can go. Now let's just make it nice and clean with some of this. Compared to the mods, I've never played the mods, so I can't help. I don't think you interrupted me. Maybe you did, and now I'm completely out of it. My cat is the one who's really interrupting me. He keeps pawing at me and jumping up on my desk. So if I can get him to move so I can see what I'm doing. Yep. Hang on. I gotta manually remove him from the desk. 1 second. All right, I'm back. So we're just gonna do that. Turn down that, and we're gonna get it right where we want it. Beautiful. Look at that. That is the best rendezvous I have ever seen in my entire life. Now let's see if we can follow up with the actual maneuver, huh? Because that's the hard part. So 2-minute burn, that's actually not bad. It's going to be the nuclear one that's the problem. All right, maneuver is coming up in 11 minutes. I guess we'll time warp. All right, solar panels are going to be stowed for this maneuver, just for safety's sake. I'm not worried about Ike. I like Ike. It's never steered me wrong. Lock. There we go. Fold those away. We won't be needing power for a bit. And we have a lot saved up. So, maneuver is approaching. Once we're about 5 minutes out, I will start pointing toward the maneuver. And now, we're about ready to head off to Duna, home of the, well, whatever it's the home of, I don't know. The Red Planet. There's Tuna there, I think. Has Ike. It's a good time. Kerbals like it. It's a heck of a lot more fun to go to than Eve. You could probably say that about anything except for Hilo and maybe Elu. But I think even at that point, Eve is worse to go to than either of those. Alright, so we're not quite on target because the target maneuver, whatever, the maneuver node indicator changes as we go. Turn that off. And the station is now freaking out. Oh, I should... Okay, hold up. So, very important that I don't do this again, and I'm glad I just noticed it. Guess where the control point is? I'll tell you what, it's like right here. We want it to be right here. So how about we fix that, huh? Before we have another unfortunate accident with our space stations. So hopefully we find the tuna, but if we don't, I'll still consider the mission successful if we can get into orbit and do some science. That's all I'm looking to do. We got a pilot, we got a scientist, we got an engineer. The control point is correct now. We are approaching our burn, And keep in mind, this is to get us there. The rest of it is for any, like, circularization, station keeping, changing inclination, that kind of stuff. Also, the extra fuel can be used for later missions to Duna. So we have extra fuel just sitting in orbit. So they're almost there. We're gonna get on target. Ooh, this thing doesn't turn very good, does it? That's okay, it doesn't need to. Just needs to be pointing in the general direction. The gimbaling will handle the rest. And almost there. Is the rule of thumb still burning half ahead and half behind? Because that's the technique I've been using. I'm not sure if that's still the wisdom, the correct, I don't know. That's still, okay. So, Jargle is saying, yes, that is correct. Good to know. I know there's like a mod that'll tell you exactly how to burn, but that's no fun. I like eyeballing it, as I've said so often in the past. Like, we'll get close enough and then we'll figure it out on the way. Not everything needs to be perfect. There's the in-game enhanced burn indicator. Do I need to toggle that? Oh well, it's too late. It's time to burn. 3, 2, 1, and go. We're off to Duna. So, let's get our maneuver node, or focus our view on our target. We're gonna let the engines do the work. I have advanced tweakables on. Oh, it's a different toggle. Okay. I'll take a look at that after this burn, because we might want to use it for our nuclear one. Because that thing's a pain in the butt and a half. Like, I remember nuclear engines, like, sucking at doing anything in a reasonable amount of time. But I don't know why so many people still use them. Maybe there's, like, a secret that I don't know about. But we are still mostly on the maneuver node. I think we should be able to get relatively close to this line that we created, which would be good because Ike is not messing with us. We're at like a nice low periapsis. I don't remember the exact, I guess I can look. Atmosphere is at 50, so we're right above the atmosphere, which is perfect. We might be able to keep, well, we won't be able to use it to aero brake really with this thing, because it has a lot of delicate parts on the outside that I don't want to blow up. But with our, well, with the nuclear one, we don't want to do that either. So, no aero braking on Duna today. We're getting towards the last dregs here. Let's see if we can see the line showing up somewhere. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, we slightly overshot. Let's fix that. So, Struggle is saying to go from Moho or Elu or Joule or even Drez, find the nuclear engines quite useful. Alright, I believe you. I think maybe you just need like a bunch of them to overpower the fact that they are very slow. They take forever to do the burns. Oh, shoot. Alright, we can tweak this as we get a little bit closer. I think we have enough delta V, it shouldn't hurt anything. So we're going to go ahead and extend these out. Hey, it is 1 to toggle the solar panels. Excellent. We'll get those out for the trip. Everybody is happy. Well, they're at least not unhappy, which is about as much. So you are using a mod with a 2.5 meter engine that is just 4 nerves. All right, that sounds fun. And I suppose it's not like unbalanced because you can just make that arrangement with, you know, nerves. So this part is done. Now we're going to switch over to the done lander. And we're going to see if this nuclear engine can do what we want. All right, come on, KSC. Load, thank you. Check our missions. Expand the sun station. That's not happening. Nothing for cover Billy Boblo. That's definitely not happening. New orbital station. I don't think that's gonna happen either. All right. Back to the Dunlander. It's not called the Dunlander. It's called the Duna Lander. Only the stations get shortened names. I probably should have written down how much delta V that took, because now I'm going to have to redo this from scratch. 4 times the mass, 4 times the thrust. So maybe that's what I need to do, is just slap them on an engine plate. Okay. Let's go to Duna. And encounter time? Yes, maybe. There we go. All right. Well, we got it. Now we need to tweak it. Burn time, 9 minutes. Okay. That's... Okay, we ran into this problem last time. Is it better to do 1 burn to get our apoapsis like real high and then do a second burn, or is it better to just do 1 long burn? Because me burning for 10 minutes is I don't know, kind of boring. I mean, I'm gonna end up burning 10 minutes either way, right? It doesn't matter. Oh, go back down. Like, whether I like it or not, it's gonna end up being a long burn. But if, well, does efficiency matter? Like, I'm burning a lot of delta V regardless. Ike, you stay out of the way. I like you, but not that much. How much? It's cheaper to do multiple burns. Alright, well, I don't care about delta V because I brought like 1 million. So we're just going to do 1 long burn starting now. Hopefully we don't dip into the atmosphere while we're going. We shouldn't. We should be okay. Periapsis is close to 80. So, you guys ready to just chill and watch the engines go for 10 minutes? Because I am. What do we want to talk about? We were talking about movies earlier, and I had mentioned that aside from the Marvel movies that are coming out this year, I have no idea what's coming out. So if somebody's got some If like somebody's like super hyped for a movie that's coming out this year, please let me know, because I want to share in your hype. I do not follow the releases. I'm mostly waiting for the second part of Dune to come out, which at this rate is going to be like 2024. And you know what? I can wait for it. It's fine. Oh, we should probably start pointing in the right direction. The first part was really good. Second part will be hopefully better, as good. It'll have all the good parts of the book in there. Careful with your periapsis. For such long burns, you want the initial periapsis to be 100 kilometers. I think we'll be okay. I'll keep an eye on it, though. If it starts getting bad, I'll just cut off the burn and go to a secondary burn and hopefully not die or whatever. And here we go. So let's keep it on target and hope for the best. And then I mentioned that I think the Batman is coming out this year, which is not technically a Marvel movie. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Possibly an alien is here with the Raiders. Hello, Raiders. Hello, Mass Effect watchers. I hope you didn't give too much away about tomorrow's special stream, Alien. Alien coming in. So we got the anti-melon brigade is here. You're welcome. This is a very welcoming space for people who dislike melons. I count myself among your members. This is your game, KSP? I mean, yeah. Everybody likes KSP. So, for those of you who don't know, Possibly an Alien is at this point, Mass Effect streamer and art streamer who I have been collaborating with on Tuesdays. So go and check her out. I'll be there tomorrow. So I won't be here. I won't be on my channel. I'll be on her channel. So if you want to watch me, you have to go over to her channel to see me. But also she is there and you might enjoy her streams. So give it a shot. There's nothing to lose. Anyway, we were just talking about movies. And let me see what Jarogl said. World War Z 2, okay. And series. There's a World War Z series now. Westworld and The Nevers. So a bunch of things. I've heard of World War Z. I didn't know they were making a sequel. I heard that the movie wasn't really based on the book that everybody liked. Okay, so there goes our burn, I guess. I guess we'll just wait till we're past our periapsis and then try again, maybe? Oh, maybe you were right. I should have got my periapsis a little higher. Now I'm mad. All right, so Raiders. Hello, everyone. Let me greet you all properly. Welcome to my stream. You guys know me probably for the most part. If you don't, I'm StarShard0. I play space games, including Kerbal Space Program, Oxygen Not Included. RimWorld is still somewhere on the list to come back. And what else? What else do I play? I'm playing Star Sector on Fridays, but this Friday, I have a special treat for everyone that if you were here last Friday, you would know about, but if you were not, you don't know about, and I'm not going to spoil it. So tune in this Friday for a very special episode with a very special game from my childhood that I think everyone is going to get a kick out of. And I guess if you tune in tomorrow, I'll tell Alien what it is tomorrow, because I don't want to keep her in the dark for too long about it. All right. Can we do the burn? So, Alien, how is Mass Effect 3 going? It looked like you weren't even close to the end, but I don't actually know the game. And the sooner you get it done, the sooner I can force you to play something else. I'm very excited. We're gonna find you a nice, fun game to play before you jump into Dragon Age. Come on. I wonder if it's worth continuing to burn here or if I should just fall back and go for a second one. We'll just keep going for a bit. It's not hurting anything. Come on. Look at how slow that's going up. It's so sad. You're nowhere near the end, he says. Okay. Yeah, I watched the periapsis. The periapsis is good. Everything, we're out of the atmosphere. I did have to stop burning for like a minute or two there. So I'm just gonna keep burning. If things get real bad, I'll turn off the burn and we'll go from there. All right, enjoy your food. We'll be here waiting for you very patiently. So, what do you guys like to do? You guys like to play games? As you can tell, I like to play games. I like to play Kerbal Space Program. I like to play XCOM. I like to play... Wow, I guess that's about it. That's kind of sad. What other games have I played? Still been playing through It Takes Two with my wife. You lost a couple of vessels in the atmosphere from trying to do those burns. I don't think I've lost a vessel, but I've definitely messed up a burn by doing that. So, luckily I didn't lose this one, because this one is expensive. It's got a lot of fuel. Got nuclear engines. We don't want to blow it up. The old XCOM were pretty good. You're darn straight they were good. Those are... I still prefer the classic XCOM formula over the newer XCOMs. Like, I'll play the newer XCOMs. They're good games. They're fun. But classic XCOM just is like on a whole nother level. It's got everything. It's got base building. It's got characters. It's got maps. It has... I mean, even just like the fact that it's kind of sandboxy, right? What kind of mischief is going on in here? Well, it's just Kerbal Space Program mischief. Same as every Monday. And Vulcan is back. Our good friend Vulcan Rider, who we have been missing dearly for the last couple of weeks, has returned. And we are very glad to have him here. We're doing a Duna mission, by the way. I know that I probably should make my titles a little clearer, because otherwise it just says KSP, hard career, no mods, and doesn't really tell you what's going on. But yeah, this is the Duna mission that I promised this evening. Which is good, because I've got about, like, 20 minutes to try to get this wrapped up. Because somehow time has slipped away from me, and it is almost 9 o'clock. But honestly, I'm willing to keep going if you guys are willing to keep watching, so we might go a little bit later tonight. I really want to get these things in orbit of Duna and start doing some science and maybe even land on Duna tonight. That could be fun. And if I'm tired at work tomorrow, so be it. They don't get the full 100% of me anyways, so who cares if I'm tired? Although I do want to be well rested for the alien stream tomorrow. And Vulcan Rider, I think you might have missed these last couple of weeks where me and Alien have been streaming together. I know you were in Urban Stream earlier and you saw, I think I mentioned that we had been doing that. But that's going to happen again tomorrow, and tomorrow's going to be a real doozy. So if you like me and or possibly an alien, be there. Or watch the VOD, your choice. It's not going anywhere. Still going. Still got 300 delta V. 300 meters per second. We gotta go. Which, compared to how much we've got in the tanks, is nothing. But it's still gonna take a while to get there. Come on. Get in there. Yeah, I don't think we're quite on the same track as we had before. We're gonna have to make some tweaks. What time for that stream? That's gonna be, a UTC? It's UTC -6. So I guess midnight? No. Yeah. Midnight UTC, I think is right. So it's the same as my regular stream schedule, which is I'm pointing down. I mean, it's the same as this stream today. So if you're here now, it's going to be the same time tomorrow. All right. Oh, we're getting a Mun encounter. Okay, I was not expecting that. Let's just shoot past it. And come on. But yeah, it's not, I understand that the Tuesday streams are not everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally fine. It's definitely a different, it's a whole different thing that we do. There's no gaming, it's just looking at stuff and talking and having a good time. I say stuff like we're just like browsing the internet. We're not, so the first week we looked at 8800 Blue Lick Road, which is like a weird real estate listing. Last week we looked at a museum in England that just had all kinds of crazy exhibits. We couldn't read any of them because the quality was really low, but we got to look at the actual artifacts and stuff, which was kind of fun. And this week is a special art surprise that nobody knows about except for me and Alien. Are we still going? What's going on here? Yeah, I think we're pushing out the line. This is our trajectory. That's good. Come on. So yeah, this has been the longest burn of my life. It might be less time than we actually spent doing the Eve burn last week, though. Or the week before, whatever week we did it. Because I remember that one had its own series of problems. Mostly that I was pointing the wrong way for like a decent chunk of it and had to course correct partway through. Right, let's focus on Duna. And we are going to get this trajectory. No matter what, we're going to get that intersect. All right. Almost. We're very close. Another 100 meters per second. Did we get it? What is happening? No, we have something with Minmus or the Mun or something. I just saw that it stopped and then I don't know. I got confused, I guess. Moho injection burn? Is it really 3,000 meters per second? That's disgusting. I don't want to do that. I guess I'm gonna have to at some point. I'm gonna have to go to Moho. It's in the bylaws of this career mode. I have to go to everybody at least once. 3,000. Okay, it was for you. I'll have to look. I'm sure it's like something crazy. What the heck? Okay, we still have like 80 something to go. I keep seeing lines everywhere, and I'm not sure which one I want to see and which one I don't want to see. Because I feel like we've already overshot whatever the heck we were trying to do here. Let's turn that off. And we're gonna make some tweaks out here at the Mun's orbit to try to get this back on track. Because obviously I've gone too far in a few places. How do we rein this back in? Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Are we going slower or faster? We're going faster. Nice and speedy here. Oh, okay. It just all of a sudden disappeared. Personal career goal. Plant a flag on every CB where possible and bring the little green people back to Kerbal safe and sound. That's kind of my mission for this stream. I've never been, so I've been to Duna and I've been to Eve, but I've never been to Moho, I've never been to Drez, I've never been to Jewel, and I've never been to Elu. So those are kind of the ones. After we do this Duna mission, I'm thinking probably Jewel, but I don't know for sure. Why does this keep getting goofy? What the heck? All right, let's reset this. Reset. Let's try this again. So we've got the target. We're gonna slow down. And then we're gonna tweak it this way. And I mean, I'll probably unlock all the science relatively soon because I've got science labs all over. Got some in Eve, I've got some around Mun and Minmus and every place. So I'm not expecting that should take very long. Okay, let's change my position here. And Jewel isn't too hard, you say? All right. Well, here's hoping, because I've never been there. And I mean, I can probably get there. It's just a matter of, can I land anywhere? Now, let's fix this up here. Oh, went a little too far there. Get that out where we want it. Oh, okay. Maybe not crash into Duna. At least not right now. Maybe later. There we go. Okay. Node in 2 hours. Burn time 1.5 minutes. All right, I'm on it. Let's go. So yeah, my biggest concerns are going to be Eve, because I have to get there and return, and probably Elu, just because of the times involved. Like, it's just going to be so long. But maybe I can make a nice, fast ship that can do it real quick and be done with it. Yeah, that's true. Vulcan, how have you been doing? Did you, have you been doing your Mun landings and your Minmus landings and getting the hang of it? I don't know where exactly we had left off in your progress. I mean, once you can do those, you can do basically any other planet except like Eve and Tylo, because those are like really big and have high gravity. But like Duna's not too much harder than just doing a Mun mission. All right, let's make sure we're pointing in the right direction. There we are. Switch back over to Duna. We're going to monitor this line until we have it exactly how we want it. Oh, it's too much. Tone it down a little bit. There, perfect. Just start burning now. We can... It's like we're going in a straight line. It's not like there's any kind of periapsis stuff we need to worry about. It took you 1 year, Dargle says, to find courage going outside the Kerbal system. That's fair. Because, like, once you're out there, it's a long way to get anywhere else, right? Like, you think it's far to get to Minmus, and then you're like, oh, I need to go to Duna, which is, you know, on the other side of the solar system. When I used to play, in the old days, before they added the Delta V readings to the actual game, when I wasn't hand calculating how much Delta V my vessels would have, I was just kind of eyeballing it. Like, well, this has this much fuel, and I'm pretty sure it can, you know, get to the Mun. So if I add a little more, I can probably get to Duna. So there was a forum poll, Starogel says, 90% of all players who responded to the poll have never left the Kerbal system or will never leave the Kerbal system. And I absolutely believe that. I have friends that I've been like, hey, try this game, and they never get into orbit. So it's absolutely a thing. Oh, turn it off now. Why? Go back. That's not what I wanted you to do. Okay, that's also not quite what I wanted you to do, but that's better at least. We can tweak that, no problem. All right, so there we go. We're ready to rock. Let's mark that on our calendar. This one is good to go. We'll check in on our other station, on our done station. I don't know which one's gonna get there. I guess I should probably mark that, right? This is gonna have... So that's gonna have a Duna encounter on day 226. T minus 226. Okay, got it. That is T minus 226. And we need to check in with Dun Station. Oh no, Vulcan Rider has the brain fog. Yeah, I've also been playing for a long time, so despite my quirks regarding how I play the game and my disdain of mods, I've learned quite a few tips and tricks. So which one is gonna change first? This one. But they're pretty close. And warp. So we're gonna check in with both of these guys once they leave the Kerbal Sphere of Influence. And we're gonna mark off their encounters with Duna so we can keep track of who's gonna get there when. It's very important that we don't, you know, miss the entire encounter with Duna because we were focused on the wrong one. We need to be able to check in on the correct one, burn, get the circularization, all that stuff. Yes, we're all very happy to have Vulcan Rider back. He has survived against all odds and will now be enjoying the entertainment that we provide. Okay, let's mark off the encounter. Oh, okay. Encounter. Yes. And switch to you. And where are we? Warp. So does anybody else have any quirks that they have when they play KSP, or is it just me? Because I feel like the way that I build and the way that I do so many things, I can't explain exactly why I do it that way. I guess it looks right to me, or it feels right to me. Which is why I call it a quirk, because it's not necessarily something that helps me with the game. Wait, did I really mark this as 30 minutes? What the heck? I marked it as 10 seconds. What kind of quirks do I mean? Okay. So I don't know. I always make these solar panels, like this general style with the girders. I won't clip parts generally. I try my best to never clip parts at all. I never, if I can help it, I never warp through sphere of influence changes, which I think is a holdover from the old days when if you warped through a sphere of influence change, it would totally mess up your orbit. I don't like using probe cores. I prefer to use pilots. I don't like planes, although I think that's more of a consequence of they're a pain in the butt to build than me having a particular disdain for them. Like if planes were easier to build, or as easy to build as rockets are, which are like super straightforward and easy, then I might be more open to using them. But generally, it's a more expensive way of doing what a rocket could do with no real tangible benefit, in my opinion. So Stargle says, I have developed my own way at building crafts, only later to realize why I do it the way I do. Do you do it because it's the most efficient way and you are some kind of robot? All right, so this is actually going to arrive later, but I think that's fine. So we'll switch over to our Duna lander, which is good. We want to have a nice long period of time between when the two vessels arrive, so we have time to do the thing. So here we go. We're warping. We're doing the warp. Look at him go. So majestic. Probe core. Oh, you like probe cores. Okay. So Star Ogle likes probe cores. Oh, for sure. For like building like stationary satellites, it's fine. I just don't like using them in place of a Kerbal in most situations. Like people are like, just send a scientist Kerbal with a probe core, and I'm like, well, I'd rather send the scientist with like a friend, because I don't know, it's more fun, it's more slightly more realistic. Maybe in an ideal gamified version of KSP, you'd have the potential for probe cores to like break down, although that could be really frustrating, so I see why they don't do it. I guess the comm network kind of simulates that, but at the same time, not entirely. Okay. So we need to, we're going to go ahead and enter sphere of influence. Then we're going to get all the science that we can get. And then we're going to enter orbit and circularize. And then I think we should be able to land. I really want to see if this thing can land. If it can't land, we're going to have a problem and we're going to need to send a rescue mission. All right, so let's look at Star Ogle's example of quirky building. Became a habit for you to have the first stage SRB only, and you later realized as SRB fuel is so heavy that that's the reason why SRBs close to the end of their burn time have a massive thrust to weight ratio, which in turn allows you to have weaker, lighter, more efficient engines and more fuel for the second stage. So you only use SRBs. You use only SRBs for the first stage. You don't use any liquid fuel engines at all. Ah, there it is. The red and white planet, Duna. Let's get some readings. Actually, we don't need to get any readings from here because our science ship is going to be coming through. So let's just do some other stuff. So at periapsis, we need to slow this down. Radial in is the way we want to go. Okay, so you use SRB only for the first stages. That's crazy. I use SRBs in addition to my liquid fuel engines usually, but only if I need the extra thrust to weight. Otherwise, I stick with liquid for the most part. And yeah, you definitely don't want to have SRBs on your upper stages unless you're doing some kind of wacky challenge, right? Like SRBs only to the mun. So quirky. Obviously, yes. All right, I gotcha. So we still have plenty of fuel. I don't know if we're gonna have to ditch our fuel tanks anytime soon at this rate. Keep an eye on this sending node. I would really like to get our orbit flattened out as best as we can while we're still way out here. It's looking good. Ooh, okay, I got you. We'll stop. Radial in. And let's see if we can't get a couple more kilometers closer to really make that periapsis pop. All right. And now we add in the maneuver that everybody's been waiting for. How many minutes is it going to be? 3-ish? 4 minutes? Fair enough. I'm gonna try to get it as low as possible and set target here. Your beginner-friendly Dunlander, the first stage has 14 kickbacks. That doesn't sound very beginner-friendly at all. But maybe I'm wrong. That's a lot of kickbacks, though. Oop. Okay. We're just trying to get the weakest possible orbit we can get. That's all I want here. Okay, this is really weak. Okay, I don't want it to be that weak, jeez. I just don't want to be burning for 20 minutes. Okay, 9 days, 8 days, 7 days. Okay, we'll cut it off there. And if I could focus on Duna for a second. Come on, game. Here we go. And that actually looks perfect for the periapsis. Let me just move it a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, right about there. Looks good. What is a weak orbit? Just like, I don't need it to be real close. I can just the fact that we're not leaving, right? I'd call that a weak orbit because, I don't know. That's just what I call it. What do you want from me? I just want to not go flying off into space is all. It doesn't need to be perfect. But for my explanation, it would be a strong orbit would be a circular orbit, and a weak orbit would be an elliptical orbit. The more elliptical, the weaker. The more circular, the stronger. There you go. I think I've explained myself well enough. We are approaching... Oh, let's not overshoot our burn. Funny naming. Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. Like, look at Ike. Ike has a nice strong orbit around Duna. We're gonna go prograde. And I am ready. My body is ready, chat. We are gonna circularize. We're gonna get an orbit around Duna. And then we're gonna land and everyone's gonna clap. Just like I imagined, just like in my dreams. And then Albert Einstein gave me $100 or whatever. Okay. We're good. Go a little bit closer. So we want to start our burn around a minute 50-ish, I think. Okay. That's about as close as we need to get. All right. So yes, I think Vulcan's been getting a ton of help, not just from me, but from a lot of other very helpful people in the KSP community. It is a very, very helpful and friendly community. So, a nice, what's the word? I can't think of words right now, chat. Whatever. You're gonna help. Best community ever? Yeah, maybe like for a game at least, for sure. There might be like friendlier non-gaming communities out there. Not sure what they would do. It's definitely the friendliest, helpfulest community I've been a part of. Alright, so let's get this orbit. Let's go. People have been waiting 3 hours for this. People crave Duna for some reason. They can't get enough of its curves and edges and white caps. Alright, so we should be good. As we'll get out here, then we'll do another loop and we'll circularize. Anomalies? Does it have anomalies? I guess I haven't really looked very hard. Yes, how strange. So anomalous this planet is. Where are we gonna land, I wonder? Is it better to land in the lower areas or the higher areas? I guess the the benefit of that would be that it would be flatter, like down in the valleys. And it would give you more atmosphere to aero brake, right? Maybe we'll do that. But as always, I don't know the correct answer because I don't look these things up beforehand. I saw someone do a tutorial on how to do a Duna landing like 3 years ago, and all my information comes from that. And then I've done a few Duna landings myself, so some experience there, but other than that, I'm just eyeballing it. We still are not captured yet. That's interesting. But still, oh, okay, I can see it curving around now. Any minute now. Should have a nice capture. We'll avoid Ike as best we can. We'll go to Ike later. We're gonna land on Duna first and then see how much fuel we have left before we try to do Ike. Oh, it has some rover graveyards on there. That sounds fun. I haven't looked. I've only found a couple of Easter eggs. I know about most of them from other streamers or from like posts on Reddit or whatever, but I've never sought them out. I've never tried to go to them for the most part. I want to say I've been to the Lunar Memorial on the Mun with like the plaque and everything. UFO at Kerbal? I haven't been to that one. I know it's there because King Akira was trying to put a containment field over it in one of his streams. So there we go. We are officially captured by Duna. Now we can find the tuna. Alright, turn that off. And we'll check our ascending, descending. Yeah, 0.3 is fine. So we're good there. And now we can circularize on the next go around. We have entered orbit. 25 grand, that's it? Yeah, thanks for nothing, scientific community. Whatever. Like, I send a ship all the way out here. Did you capture Duna? Did Duna capture you? I mean, it's all relative, right? Everything's orbiting something. And that something is some point probably outside of their body. Ooh, we have a fake encounter coming up. Let's avoid that. Coming back around and get ready to circularize. So let's try to find some of that elusive Duna tuna. It'll probably be in one of these old dried up seas. Maybe this big one that I can't see because it's on the dark side. Let's not go into the atmosphere today. We're gonna avoid that. I say as I continue burning. You've only found the blueberries? I think those are just things you can pick up, right? I'm pretty sure I found those as well. Those aren't a... I don't know if Duna actually has tuna. I've just seen people make the meme, right? It'd be a fun one for KSP2 though if they don't already have it. All right, we're getting closer. I don't want to go into the atmosphere, as fun as that would be. Although it could help, or it wouldn't hurt necessarily, because Duna doesn't really have an atmosphere, it has like a hint of an atmosphere, just a whiff. Nothing that's gonna kill us, right? All right, let's time warp. This is boring. And let's stop right about there. Now we will continue our circularization. Smoke break? Okay. You go take your smoke break. We'll land when you get back. Don't take too long. Low circularized? Okay, but it's not circularized, but it's recaptured again, I guess, is the way to describe it. Coming down. Coming down. So, what is the plan for next week, do you guys think? What is the mission? Are we going to start Joule planning already? Okay, we're going to enter the atmosphere. I better stop. We may actually have to burn at apoapsis a little bit to get a higher periapsis. So we can either start Joule planning next week, or we can maybe plan a rescue mission to Eve to fix the mistakes of the past and recapture, or basically go collect our stranded Kerbals. But either one's fine with me. We're gonna have to return to Eve eventually for the final boss. It might be worth doing some cleanup in the Kerbin system and collecting some of the crew members that we don't need to necessarily be on missions that we might want back at the KSC. We could maybe do some rescue a Kerbal missions to grab some new pilots, hopefully, or some new scientists. Because right now we're fully stocked on engineers and don't have much of anything else. Oop, overshot a little bit. Shouldn't be a problem though. We'll just go out to like 60,000. There we go. So, I'm not gonna like put it to an official vote or anything because I don't know, some people don't like to respond to those, but if you have an idea, feel free to type it out. I will take everyone's feedback into consideration. Ooh, look, you can almost see the atmosphere. Wow, look at that. Amazing. To think. You're back? Well, that was quick. You must have one of those, like, quick smoke cigarettes or whatever. Kind where the paper burns twice as fast. We've almost circularized. Is all that you missed. I just burned. Get our periapsis a little higher. And we're going to circularize around 60,000 meters. And then we'll pick a good landing site. We still got 52 days until the science ship arrives. Which is plenty of time to gather up a bunch of science, gather some surface samples, maybe grab a blueberry, and then get back into orbit and await the ship's arrival. And we can drop off all the science and get it loaded up into the science lab and get it producing more science for us. And I wonder if that is, if there was like a challenge mode for KSP, hypothetically, what would it be? I feel like you wouldn't be allowed to use the mobile processing lab. Obviously you're playing on hard, probably plus some additions like plasma blackout, G-forces stuff. But what else? What else would you include in that? No unmanned missions? Or no, because the comm network would handle that. Maybe you'd put some time constraints on it, like you have 30 years to max out the science tree with no mobile processing lab. But even then, I feel like you can get everything you need from the Mun and Minmus. Just get one of those biome hopper devices and go to town. So, I don't know what a challenge mode in KSP would look like, but I'm interested. Because, like I said before, the game part of it is easy. Obviously, the construction, the flying, that's kind of like the complicated part, the action part of the game. But that's the same no matter what mode you're playing. So this would be something that introduces some additional challenges and caveats to make the game, like the strategy part of the game, harder. Or the, I don't know if you call it the strategy part, the management part, the career part, to make that harder as opposed to just the construction part. Because anybody can go grab a craft off the internet and learn how to fly it and not have to do much work. But if you're trying to squeeze every bit of efficiency out of every mission, because if you don't, you're going to go bankrupt and lose the game. Well, now we're talking. Now it's like XCOM. So Duna is going this way, right? So the sun, if we set up our arrow capture to be in this general area, we can hopefully land in the old inland sea, whatever that's called. Plant a flag on every celestial body where possible, or try... Oh, I wouldn't include any mods. This would be strictly vanilla. It's more of like a set of, I guess, both self-imposed rules and game variables that would make the game hard. Because obviously, if you do like, is RP1, is that the real planets with like the real solar system that makes it like super hard? Because I don't want to do that. That's too hard. Oh, I should have brought another pilot. Oh well, you guys will be fine. So Valentina, you get to be the first Kerbal to set foot on another planet. Well, wait, yeah, that's true. Like, Valkyrie got to step onto Gilly, but that's not a planet, that's a moon. Restrict yourself to a particular tech level? I don't want to do that. I think unlocking parts is part of the game, because that's more like one of those challenges they used to do, right? Like get to the Mun with only SRBs, or you know, land on the sun, that kind of stuff. Yeah, the tech tree's there, so use it. I'm just saying, make science harder to get and make it so you have to be really efficient with your craft, because the money and the game and the science is not messing around. All right, so we're gonna burn retrograde here. Oh, I guess I need the engine to be on if I want to burn. Activate. And we'll get it nice and low, but not quite into the atmosphere. All right, you guys can still hear me. I thought I might have accidentally muted because I pressed the wrong button, and I don't know what button is causing the microphone to mute on my keyboard. I know the hotkey is 8 on the numpad, but my hands aren't anywhere near that when I'm muting myself. All right, game. We're gonna make our way over to our periapsis, or I guess closer to it than we already are. And then we're gonna lower it so that we're actually going into the atmosphere. And we'll start our arrow capture, or arrow burn, and we've already captured. We don't need to capture again. Do not capture twice. Efficiency is self-imposed, says Star Ogle. I like to spend hours to optimize my rockets, and my cat jumped on the keyboard. Okay, you guys can still hear me. He didn't step on the mute key. All right. Let's move him again. Ugh. So I think to some degree, efficiency is self-imposed because the game is so easy, right? If you actually made it, so science is hard to get, money is hard to get, it wouldn't be self-imposed anymore. You'd have to be efficient. You'd have to actually go into the that building that no one ever goes into to set up different plans to get points from the other things, right? Like, I use that building so rarely, I don't even remember what it's called. And that sucks, because I feel like every part of the game should be used if it's there. Okay, so this should be good. We'll just put it down right about there. And now we begin our descent into madness. I mean, Duna. Duna, madness, whatever. Same thing. The parachutes, let's make sure those are ready to go. First the drogues and the big ones. Minimum pressure is 0.1. Okay. I think we're good. I don't remember exactly what the parachutes, like how good they are on Duna. I remember they're not terribly good, but they're good enough to help. So we'll probably still need to do a burn when we're about to touch down. And to that end, let's get going. Did we? No, the music keeps playing on Duna. Your Duna lander could have easily made a more simple one, but you had to optimize it. Mass and price-wise. Hours. That's what I'm saying. That's not imposed on you by the game. It's imposed on you by yourself. We've got to make it imposed on you. You say you only have 20,000. You only have the like 20,000 Spasos, whatever you get, the money that you get up front, whatever that's called. That's all that you have to build your craft, and then you have to get there if you want to get the rest of the money, because you spent all your money on the last mission, and the return, you got a lot of science, but you didn't get any money. So I don't know. Got that. He's got OVD, chat. Never heard of that one. All right. Yeah, I wish the music would go off when you're in the atmosphere of other planets. That would be very helpful. But, oh, yeah, we're physics warping. I don't want to do that. Not on Duna. No, you're fine with the typos. Although I do like the sound of OVD. That sounds like a fun disorder to have. I don't know what the V would stand for. Obsessive ventriloquist disorder. You constantly speak through a dummy. And when questioned about it, you claim that the dummy is a real person. All right, Duna, show me what you got. I'm ready for you. Yep, Duna doesn't care. Where are we landing again? Okay, so we should land somewhere around here, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll have to burn a little bit to slow our or change our trajectory. Veggie? Obsessive veggie disorder. You only eat vegetables. And when questioned about it, you can't remember where you got those vegetables from. I mean, we can make up disorders all night. Just throw acronyms at me, we'll figure something out. Alright, when do we get to the atmosphere here? Can I check that? I guess I do have it. Toggle display. 0.005 kilopascals. That seems really low, but I'm not an expert. I guess we'll log it. And we'll get some other readings while we're up here. Log temperature. Crew report. Everything appears to be in order. This is a pretty cool lander. Yeah, feel free. This is sort of my classic design for post lunar landers. I try to keep it real low, so it's just an engine on the bottom with the hatch on top, or the capsule on top, and then the fuel goes above that with the docking port. And I find that this thing's robust enough to land pretty much anywhere except like Tylo and Eve, of course. And maybe the other one in Joule. The one with the water that I never remember the name of. The one that everybody goes to. Lathe, that's the one. I got it. Kiss. Keep it simple and stupid. Ooh, that is a good one. I've heard it keep it simple, comma, stupid. Like you're calling the person that needs to keep it simple stupid. But keep it simple and stupid is much more polite. Like, keep it so simple that even an idiot can handle it. Alright, let's check on those kilopascals. They're slowly ticking up. I like it. When can I expect to see, like, literally any kind of atmosphere? It's actually going to start slowing me down. Because this is going slow. Do you guys, for those of you who were here last week, do you remember when we were talking about anime? Because somebody today recommended that I watch Dragon Ball Z. And I want to see how ill-advised that would be. So at about 20 kilometers up, I'll see some atmospherics. Okay. So, okay, the reason I ask is because I don't have a lot of time to watch things, and I already have a lot of things in my backlog to watch. So I don't know if I want to spend a bunch of time watching, you know, however many thousands of episodes of Dragon Ball Z there are. It's probably not thousands, it's not One Piece. But it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on that show. I don't know most of it. Oh, okay, we're in the black now. This is what I like. Oh, it's Ike. Hello, Ike. No more stars means we're ready to rock. Let's find some blueberries. And how are we doing? We're still up quite a ways. Keeping everything nice and tight. We've got the parachutes ready to deploy when needed. We are slowing down. The atmosphere is actually doing a lot of work here. We could probably put the landing legs out to increase our drag. Actually impressive how much we're slowing down here. Yeah, it's going up. We're almost a 1 kilopascal. Amazing. No fireworks? Yeah, I was already in pretty low orbit, so that doesn't surprise me. I was already going about as slow as you could be going upon entering. All right, drogues are out. There we go. I have more than that. Oh, deploy. Okay, apparently, there we go. For some reason, they did not stay symmetrical. That's weird. All right, put that at 4,000 to match the other thing. At least parachutes might just do the work. Big boy parachutes deployed. SAS is off. Rogue shoot 1 deployed. Maybe we can get the other ones to go too. Yeah, somebody in engineering is getting fired over this blunder. There we go. I can handle this. So we might just have to do a quick burn as we come in for a landing, and that should be good enough. Not too bad. I don't see any blueberries down on the surface, but we might not be close enough to spot them if they're here. I don't know where they spawn, so we'll just assume they're not here. Can we spin so that I'm facing the right direction? Other way. There we go. Perfect. And let's see where we're at. So yeah, we are on the far eastern edge of whatever this biome is called. Twisting. Why are we twisting? Stop twisting. You're the only person almost never using drogue shoots. I just use them on Duna mostly because they're extra parachutes that are light. But yeah, I don't actually use them like normally. We need to control from here. Yeah, this is already set up properly. I don't know what the general use of drogue shoots is. I mean, I get that it's to slow you down enough that your big shoots can open. But I guess I've never been in a situation where that would be necessary. So I just use them as extra smaller shoots. Although maybe on that drone ship that we landed, the fuel ship. All right, so the blueberries spawn in all biomes, apparently. Thank you, Star Ogle, for that. We'll take a look. Usually I can spot the anomalies from this high up, but maybe not on Duna. We'll take a look. I guess we can maybe like physics warp here. Oh, it looks kind of blue over there. That's cool. We can still see Ike through the dust. Okay. Not trying to get blown up, so we're gonna want to stop the physics warp and get ready for the final burn here once we are ready to touch down. Let's go ahead and switch off the physics warp. Everybody ready? There's a sandstorm. Uh-oh. Oop. Okay, beautiful. We did it. We did it, chat. We landed on the surface of 30,000. That's it. And these guys are stingy. All right, let's get everything extended out. Val, congratulations. You are the first Kerbal to set foot on another planet. Truly a monumental accomplishment for Kerbal kind. So thank you everybody for being here for this wonderful accomplishment. This is the lowlands. Plant a flag. Lowlands. In memory of our good friend Jeb. Val was here. All right, there we go. We've got the surface sample. We got the EVA report. Let's grab the science out of the bins. Take the data. Take the data. And take the data. And board. I didn't kill Jeb. It was an accident. And there's a clip about it if you want to see the full story. Emmykins can probably link it if she wants. She loves it. It's her favorite thing that I did. We got all that. All right, so let's head back to the Space Center. Lame excuse, I killed him. Okay, listen. What had happened was I was trying to do a supply run. I had a ship coming in towards the station that Jeb was piloting. I got distracted by chat for like 10 seconds. And then there was the incoming craft clipped the cockpit that Jeb was in and caused an explosion. That's all that happened. I had nothing to do with it. All right, everyone. Well, that's it. Rip Jeb. Hello, Emery D123. Thanks for stopping by the channel tonight. Unfortunately, we're about to wrap it up for the night. So thank you everyone for coming. And yes, I did get distracted and Jeb did have to suffer for my distraction. It's true. That was me. I did do that. But in my defense, the conversation was really weird. And that's all that I know. So I'm going to send you guys over to King Akira. He's playing some more Kerbals. You guys will be in good company. Let me get the thing. What the heck? You guys have no idea how hard it is to be a streamer. There's so much going on. Or maybe some of you do. I don't know. I don't know everybody's personal lives. So we're going to send you over to King Akira. Thank you everyone for watching. Blah, 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 blah. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow over at possibly an alien stream or on Wednesday for Oxygen Not Included. I have been your host, Starshard, and I will see you next time.